Hello everybody, back again with another video. This one's something slightly different. So it's a VR response. So the thread, I think, was started by Pedro's Movie Cavern, I think he's called. Um, Somebody, I do know his name, I can't think of having a mental block, tagged Roy Barrett, or Blu-Roy Movies, over at Blu-Roy Towers, who has tagged me and Sammy G, so thank you for that, Roy. Sure everybody knows Roy, really nice guy, uh, sort of big part of the film community. Uh, Very eclectic taste in films, good knowledge, especially on older sort of classic movies. Um, Sort of taught me a lot of war films and westerns, which is like a gap in my collection and knowledge, which I want to get into. So thank you for that, Roy. Yeah, sure, everybody knows Roy. Go and subscribe to him if you're not already, but I'm sure most people that watch me in this part of the community are. So yeah, it's a VR response. I think he also tagged Sammy G as well. So I'll be looking forward to seeing Sammy's response to it. So yeah, I think the thread was started by Pedro's Movie Cavern. Um, can't think of the guy. I'm having a mental block. I do know his name. That tagged Roy in it, and then like I say, Roy's tagged me. So yeah, this title is Create Your Own Film Festival, Movie Festival. So you could choose 6 films. Um, I got to tag 2 people at the end of this. I don't know what the rules are. I might sort of tag 2 or 3 just in case one of them doesn't do it. Um, yeah, so I'll get on with it. So basically, sort of open to interpretation. I guess you can sort of choose any films, but a lot of the time I do show a lot of horrors. So I try to stay away from horrors and go with different kind of films, a lot of dramas and stuff, I guess, but still kind of on a darker territory, as that's my kind of favourite. I'd always rather put on a gritty kind of crime thriller than a Disney movie, although I do watch those kind of things. Yeah, I'll try and make this a bit of a shorter one because I know most of my videos end up being like 20, 30 minutes plus, so I won't talk about them for too long. Yeah, I was thinking of like a theme for this, thinking of going with, different movie from each genre, but I've decided to go with a film from each country. So this is an international film festival, or as you could coin it, a Timternational Film Festival. Yeah, so if I get on with it, I'll start with British, English. I guess it's English, but let's put it under the banner of British or United Kingdom so we don't offend anybody nowadays. So yeah, first one I would choose A Z and Two Noughts by Peter Greenaway. Hopefully there's not too much glare. I don't have the light on in here and it's quite gloomy outside, but this room seems to be like a hall of mirrors when it comes to setting glare upon my uh, pics that I'm showing. Yeah, so sure everybody knows, maybe not this one's one of his more obscure films, but sure everybody knows The Cook, the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover, Peter Greenaway film. I do own that. Chose this one over that. Like I say, it's just a bit more unknown maybe, so might be a sort of slept on movie that might inspire people to watch this. I think he's done a few films, but the other one I know of is called The Baby of Macon, which I've seen sort of clips of, and it is quite messed up stuff to be fair. Yeah, not watched that one, but yeah, I own both of these. Yeah, so it's more of a drama, quite sort of disturbing stuff. I'll read you the back of it. They can obviously sum it up better than me, but yeah, 2 women passengers die in a car crash, as a result of which the female driver has a leg amputated. The zoologist's twin husbands of the dead women are fascinated by the processes of decay, start an affair with the amputee, and liberate animals from a zoo. Tirelessly provocative, sexy, funny, and stylish, the film is also a tribute to Vermeer and an exploration of the trauma of loss, man's relationship with animals, and the attraction of lists. Wonderful cinematography from Sacha Vierny and a thrilling score by Michael Nyman. Tells you what all the extras are. But yeah, if anyone knows of Peter Greenaway, not only is he a very provocative filmmaker, you could say, and shows some sort of stunning cinematography, or should I say at least, what's it say? Michael, no, sorry, I guess it's pronounced Sacha Vierny, does the cinematography. I'd have to check if he does it on his other films, or she, I'm guessing it's a foreign name, Sacha. Um, yeah, the thing I would say I enjoy most about his films is that almost every single scene is set up like a painting. So if you were to show you a few things from the back, but especially on The Thief, His Wife and Her Lover, The Cook, the Thief, His Wife and His Lover, I think it's called. yeah, you could sort of freeze frame the film at any point, and it literally looks like an art portrait where the colours are so nice, the theming set up, a lot of sort of thematic colours and iconography and things within the scenes. But yeah, one of the most sort of vivid filmmakers, I would say. But yeah, this is quite disturbing, surreal. There's quite a few British films I was thinking of choosing, but yeah, I went for this one. Maybe a bit more obscure. 1985, so quite an older one. 112 minutes. I think you probably can get it on Blu-ray or 4K. I've not checked, but I've still just got this version, which is a BFI one. Um, yeah, let me know down in the comments if you've seen any of these. Be interested to know if people seen a Z2 as I've not really heard too many people talk about it. I think it came to my knowledge when I was looking on film lists years ago of like disturbing or sort of weird, surreal films. Next, we'll go to America. So we've got 8mm, Nicolas Cage movie directed by Joel Schumacher. One of Joel Schumacher's best movies, in my opinion. Also stars Joaquin Phoenix in a sort of smaller role, and James Gandolfini. I'm sure everybody knows him. Pretty sure he was out of The Sopranos. Peter Stormare, Anthony Held, Chris Bauer. Yeah, so really good cast in it. Yeah, compared to not Jim Jarmusch, why am I saying that? Joel Schumacher, did he direct it's either Batman Forever or Batman and Robin? So compared to the tone of that, this is a very dark film. Yeah, I'd say this is more of a thriller than a horror, really. Really good soundtrack. It's got like Indian Bhangra kind of like soundtrack in the background, which is quite haunting. Won't go into the plot too much because there's a few spoilers, but basically, let me see if it sums it up nicely here about this. It don't usually spoil anything on the bat. Yeah, so Nicolas Cage is Tom Wells, a surveillance specialist with a modest, home-based business, respected but still waiting for the big break that will improve his professional status. Wells spends most of his time on routine cases, nothing too dangerous nor too threatening, until a case involving a small, innocuous-looking plastic reel of film turns Wells' life upside down, sending him down a sordid and terrifying path into society's darkest corners. Yeah, so basically, this isn't a spoiler to say, you can tell by the clue of 8mm. He's basically doing jobs for people. He's like a private detective. Some guy hires him, shows him an 8mm film reel of basically a snuff tape. It's not done too gratuitously. You do see a bit of like violence and stuff on the snuff tape, but it's done what's the word? In quite sort of a tasteful way, rather than being too exploitative. But it does sort of get to you. And then so basically someone's made a snuff tape, and he's in charge of finding out who did it, tracking it down. A bit of like a who done it. He's like going to people's houses, investigates, but interrogates like the wife of the guy that's suspected. Then he basically gets drawn into like a seedy kind of where is it shot? Does it tell me on, or where is it set, should I say? I don't think it says on the back. It feels like New York, but basically when he's looking for, who would be making these kind of tapes, he goes to these like sex shops around in the city, really seedy kind of. And Joaquin Phoenix is like, you can see him there on the back with his shades on, is an owner of one of the sex shops. And then he starts asking him, have you got any snuff tapes behind the back? And of course he said no. Then he starts helping him to try and find it. And he's going around, finds, it tells you on the back, the name of the guy that's in it. I think he's called like the Beast or something. Starts trying to track him down to find out who he is. But yeah, really gritty, well made, well paced, good soundtrack. Does it tell me who does the soundtrack? Production. Music by Michael Danner. Can't really say I've heard of him, but yeah, really sort of stand out Eastern kind of soundtrack. But yeah, quite a haunting film, but without being too sort of gratuitous or gory. Next we'll go to Australia. So Snowtown. It's based on the real life Snowtown murders, which I think was the highest sort of serial killer in Australian history. I think Wolf Creek is also based on a true story. Don't know if the guy in real life was called it, but the guy who plays is called Mick. Don't know if that's sort of slightly exaggerated for dramatic sort of retelling, make it more entertaining in a horror film. But yeah, this is more of a thriller drama really than a horror film. Really gritty. Yeah, one of the most disturbing movies I have seen, should I say. So yeah, I'd say beware of this to some people. Yeah, again, it's not really done in a gratuitous or exploitative way. It's just so realistic. I have spoke about this. I did a video a long time ago of 2 years or so ago of my top 20 disturbing films I've seen, and this is sort of in the top three. So yeah, it's not super gory or kind of crazy like say Martyrs or something, but it really got under my skin. I know Marcus and Ash are fans of this, so this is a nice 101. Comes with that. I've got it on DVD as well. Oh, I put the little back bit in there. Yeah, it comes with a nice booklet. But yeah, one of the best Australian films I've seen. It's kind of quite low budget, and some of the acting, I mean, it feels real, put it that way, which is meant to do. But, you know, it's not sort of Anthony Hopkins sort of Grammy level, but it works for this film, basically. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that might trigger people, so obviously quite brutal sort of murder scenes, a few of them, scenes of sort of incest and abuse and things. So yeah, I mean, if you could stomach it, it's a very dark, depressing film, but really well made and really poignant, kind of powerful film. There's a few I could have chose from Australia. They've done some good films, but they're mostly horror movies, at least the ones I've got. So I was thinking of The Loved Ones or Razorback, really good ones as well. Next we go to Japan. So The Happiness of the Katakuris. I think that's how you say it. So I have spoke about this one on a few different videos. But yeah, being as I've sort of people in the WhatsApp group like Stuart George is into their musicals. No, I'm not a massive fan of musicals, so I thought I'd show this one of the only musicals I enjoy. And when I say musical, it's not, you know, Annie or The Hills Have Eyes. I was going to say The Sound of Music. The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music. It's more just all over the place. Yeah, it's not his most sort of disturbing, gory film, but it's very weird. I did have this in my weirdest films video list I did a while ago. But yeah, I'd say it's sort of part comedy, part musical, part zombie, horror, family drama. Yeah, very hard to sum up, but yeah, really well made film, really entertaining and wacky, bizarre. Kind of light-hearted in places, and then kind of quite dark in some places. So yeah, really sort of I say genre spanning. Is that the word? Quite eclectic. Sort of Takashi Miike, obviously anybody, yeah, Takashi Miike. I know his name, but sometimes I call him Miike Takashi, so I thought I'd get it the right way around this time. Yeah, most of his films are kind of more dramas, really, with horrifying elements. Audition, I guess, is a bit more of a horror. It starts as a drama, but yeah, some of them like Gozu and Visit a Q are kind of just really messed up, disturbing dramas. Whereas, yeah, this is a bit more. Bit of everything, but yeah, you kind of have to see this really to believe it. Next, I chose one from France. So a lot of the good French films I own are the really extreme horror films from France, like Inside, Switchblade Romance, Martyrs. So I thought I'd go with something a bit more period piece, I guess you could say this is. But yeah, Brotherhood of the Wolf. So directed by Christopher Gons, who does actually direct one of those, I can't remember which one, but one of the more sort of disturbing French extreme films. Yeah, you can obviously get this on Blu-ray, maybe 4K, but I've just still got this old DVD version. But yeah, I used to watch this with my mates when I was younger and really enjoy it. Vincent Cassel, probably the most famous person in it. I won't go into the plot too much because it'll ruin it a bit, but it's set in, let's see if it tells me, it was 1764 when it appeared, terrorising the countryside and claiming the lives of more than 100 people. As panic gripped the region, it was feared no one could deliver them from the bloody grip of the beast. In the darkest hour, the king sent 2 men to slay the beast, but as they prepared for battle, they uncover a terrible secret. So yeah, I think there's a mythological story from this time in, is it called One Arms or something in France, where there was a beast that was meant to be a giant wolf, was like ravaging the villagers and the countryside. It's kind of based on the story of that. But yeah, in order to kill this beast, they send 2 guys. So as you can see, they're kind of, I think one's like looks Native American, but he's dressed up in this kind of highwayman costume, and then one's like a Frenchman, more in like a Victorian sort of highwayman costume. I don't know if anybody knows the video game Bloodborne, one of the hardest games ever made by From Software, who make Elden Ring and Dark Souls. Very heavily influenced by this film, where sort of Victorian London, you're fighting beasts, you're wearing this kind of outfit, you've got old school weapons. One of my favourite games ever, and yeah, this is kind of based on it. It's, I wouldn't say slow, but it's a long film. Let's see if I can find the running time. 2 hours 17 minutes, but there's a lot of bits where there's dialogue and sort of slower scenes, but I still find it gripping. I won't tell you what the beast is, that's part of the surprise, but not really a spoiler to say you think it's going to be a big wolf, and it's not. It's a bit more sort of exotic, should I say, than that. But yeah, really well made film. Really sort of, as far as international films go, I think this is one of the most critically acclaimed. And then last stop on our journey, I say our journey, this will obviously be in one building, but selected them from around the world. So we'll go to Spain. So The Skin I Live In by Pedro Almodovar. So one of my favourite Spanish directors. Makes Volver, maybe his most famous film, I think. This one stars, let me see if I can find his name, Antonio Banderas. Sure everybody knows him. Based on a novel Miguel by Thierry Jonquet. I was going to say Thierry Henry. Anybody knows football, in my opinion, the best footballer that's ever played in the Premier League. But no, Thierry Jonquet. Directed by Pedro Almodovar. There was a few Spanish ones I could have chose. So I was tempted to go with a few of these films by Alex de la Iglesia. Was tempted to go with Pan's Labyrinth, The Orphanage, another good one, but they're a bit more horror-y. So yeah, I thought I'd go with this. Quite a disturbing film with a twist you can't really see coming. I picked this one up years ago, and it's like a special slipcase. I think it was exclusive to FOP or somewhere. Did come with little art cards, but I put them up on the wall years ago, and then when I had to move house, I took it all down and put it in a carrier bag. So I need to really sort them back in, because a lot of the older DVD versions of Arrows I've got, like Zombie Flesh Eaters, I've still got the posters and the little postcards and stuff in the bag to put back in. It does. It's weird, it doesn't tell me on the back all the actors in it. I know it's definitely got Antonio Banderas. Oh yeah, it says here. I'm trying to think of the name of the woman in it. She's really good in it. But yeah, it's not a horror film. It's kind of a drama thriller, but it does go to quite dark places, and you won't really see the script coming. Some really, kind of a body horror, really. Some really good effects and stuff. But yeah, I thought I'd choose a few films that are, not cartoons or anything, because this is an adult film festival. But, not all horrors and stuff. And then, try to go around there's a lot of people that watch my channel, and a lot of the channels I watch that are in my WhatsApp group, kind of into world cinema and foreign language films. So I thought I'd go sort of 6 different countries. I was thinking, obviously I'm in a WhatsApp group, The Lords of Darkness, with Marcus and Ash. So I did sort of ask before tagging them in case, they were busy. So Marcus said he's going to do it. He's happy to do it. So I'll tag Marcus from X-File 2708. And then I think Ash is busy at work, so he hasn't replied. So I know Ash sort of busy doing a lot of things, so he doesn't get much time to make his videos. So no pressure if you can't do it, Ash. But Ash from Popcorn and Horror. And if Ash is too busy and can't do it, which I do understand, then also like to tag Stuart George in it. Like I say, Sammy G's already been tagged. Obviously, Roy's done his one. So no pressure if you can't do it, lads. And everybody's busy. I think Stuart does have like a video releasing schedule where he does it every 3 days or so. So if it clashes with that, fair enough, I understand. But hopefully out of those 3, 2 of them will do it, because I think you'll meta tag 2 people. I guess I'm cheating a bit, but Nicky at Skin Crawlers, if he's got time to do it, I'd like to see his list, because a few of us are known for our horror films, whereas Nicky, I know he mostly does like horror, but I'm sure he knows a lot of films. I mean, you can include horror films if you want. I just try to do something a bit different. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed my picks, and you're all welcome to my film festival if you want to come along. Thank you, bye.